No cat this morning. Oh well. Today is March 7th. So it's an interesting day for me. And it's, I've gone 24 times around the sun, 24 years without having a drink. Now, um, perhaps for some of you, that'll mean something. For others, it's interesting. But the reason I'm bringing it up is certainly not to crow about it because I didn't do it. I can take zero responsibility for it. The problem that was the biggest problem in my life was removed for me. The deepest disturbance inside my swimming pool vanished in one day, which is tied for first of the miracles that I've experienced in this life. And a few days ago, I mentioned the three principles that the yoga sage Patanjali mentioned. He really condensed three principles for making direct contact with God. And I discussed one of them called tapas, which is sustained, determined action over a long period of time. And today in this light, I'm going to discuss the other one. And some say he thinks it's the most important one. And again, it's a long, complicated Sanskrit word or phrase. It's Ishvara Pranidhana. Ishvara is one of many names for God in the Hindu or Sanskrit culture. And some people think that that's a fault of Hinduism. It's like, well, they have all these gods, their brains are scrambled. But the truly devout in any religion, they might have different names for God, but there's one God. And the different names of God in Hinduism generally refer to different aspects of one God. But anyway, Ishvara Pranidhana, what does that mean? It means, as close as scholars can interpret it, it means surrender to God, which sounds remarkably religious, doesn't it? Surrendering oneself to God. It's hard to imagine a more religious phrase. And I just never really considered myself religious, although I've done a great deal of spiritual work in my life. But for some reason, 24 years ago, the 20 years of spiritual work that I had been doing to that point, although valuable and meaningful and educational, there still was this giant problem inside of me, and I couldn't get it out on my own. I could not heal it on my own. I tried every conceivable means, and then I simply humbled myself. I simply Ishvara Pranidhanad, or said, God, please help me. And, I don't even think it matters what language it's said in, as long as it's said without reservation. And so the reason I bring that up today is that all my struggle with doing that, and I still struggle with it, my intellect really wants to run the show. I got to tell you, man, I am judgmental and I'm right and I'm smarter than they are. And my intellect will often balk at the idea of surrendering myself to anything greater than myself until until I realize how small and powerless my intellect is in relation to the totality of things. And this reminds me of a line from another scripture I saw the other day, and it's Jesus said, "You got to come to heaven as a little child, otherwise you can't get there. Unless you come as a little child, you won't make it to heaven." And then it's like, that's ridiculous. I can't act like a little child. I'm an adult. I've got an intellect. I have to figure things out. I have to be intelligent. And I don't think coming to heaven as a little child in any way discounts that, but I think that the deepest core, I have to use my heart rather than my intellect. When I was struggling with this decision many years ago, whether I would really surrender myself, it occurred to me that I was trying to weigh or assess God with my intellect rather than my heart. And it's the wrong tool for the job. It's like weighing something with a thermometer or taking the temperature of something with a scale. Using my intellect to access or make direct contact with God is the wrong tool, and it never works. It's always my heart. Only my heart has the feeling, the energy, the unreasonableness, the courage to make the necessary leap of faith. And thank God we have this heart. So when I'm struggling, oftentimes I'm overusing the intellect. I'm using the wrong tool for the direct perception of God. And that's my message today. Use the right tool for the job. Anyway, have a beautiful day, and we'll see you all tomorrow when we can visit